that down. Let's move on and talk about this, shall we? Now, on the John Campea Show, we talk about movies, TV shows, entertainment. That's what we talk about here. We often don't go outside of that scope a little bit. However, this show does live on YouTube. It also lives on podcast and whatnot, but the basic home of this show is YouTube. We live on YouTube. That is our ecosystem. It's where we are.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. So there's a story out there that is not movie related, okay? And so every once in a while, I'll make a minor exception. I'll make one here. Because it does involve YouTube as a whole. Australia, you will know, some of you may have heard in the stories, that Australia was looking at doing a social media ban for kids under a certain age. However, when they started talking about this last year, that social media ban was not going to include YouTube. They said that was YouTube was being looked at more as an educational sort of thing. However, things have changed. According to CNN Business, YouTube is now included in Australia's social media ban for kids under not 10, not 11, kids under 16. Not going to be able to use YouTube anymore. The article writes this. From Brisbane, Australia, Australia has picked a fight with the world's largest video platform by backtracking on an earlier promise to exclude YouTube in its social media ban for children under 16. The Labour government said Wednesday the site, which is owned by Google's parent company Alphabet, will be subject to the same rules as other leading platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and X, under legislation due to come into effect in December. The ban puts the onus on social media platforms, so it's their responsibility to prevent children under 16 from having an account on their sites or risk nearly $50 million, that's 32 million American, in fines for each instance.
Yeesh.
So they catch you allowing 3, 14, and 15-year-old kids on your site, $96 million fine. Okay. As somebody who is a YouTuber, and as somebody who's a percentage of our audience, not a huge percentage, but a percentage of our audience is the age demographic of between 12 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
There's several things to talk about here. Number one is the ban in general. I am not, Jonathan and I were talking about this a bit beforehand. Jonathan, who has kids, I do not. In general, I don't mind the idea of age limitations of who should be able to be on social media. Because as great as social media can be, there's no denying, you're sticking your head in the sand in pure ignorant denial if you don't acknowledge that social media has also, as on the one hand being really great for a lot of stuff, can be very, very damaging. We've literally seen kids take their own lives because of stuff on social media.
Yeah.
All right? You can't ignore that, right? Would I pass laws banning kids under a certain age from using social media? I don't know if I would, but I understand the idea. 16, though. 16. I mean, in age, at least here, you can drive a car.
Yeah.
Setting that limit at 16, you gotta be 16 or older. That seems like an kind of an old age for that. Saying 15-year-olds can't handle it. Again, I'm not going to pretend that I'm a teen psychology expert. I'm not. So again, that age does seem a little high for me, but okay. Including YouTube on it. That's interesting, especially when they said initially they would not be including YouTube on it. Instagram, Facebook, the most toxic of all the places, X. Okay. But I don't really normally, and again, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert, but I don't normally in my own headcanon think of YouTube when I think about the destructive, toxic place. I mean, certainly it can be, I know that, but I don't really usually lump it in with the likes of Facebook or X or stuff like that.
There's just so many things tailored for kids on it too.
Yeah.
Specifically for kids.
Some stuff that shouldn't be tailored for kids too. Now, again, it's not saying that kids under 16 cannot look at or watch YouTube. It's simply saying they cannot have an account.
Right.
So if you want to sit down with mom and dad, show me these videos. I don't see 15-year-old Stacy saying, hey, mom, sit down with me and show me this video that I need to watch.
Yeah, let me have your account.
Again, I'm not judging anybody. I'm not trying to enforce my own kind of ways of thinking on an entire country like our good friends in Australia. I think it's an interesting thing here. And yeah, I don't know what I think about it, but it's clearly going to have a big impact on YouTube, particularly in Australia. And, you know, once one country does something, it kind of lays groundwork that other countries who have had thoughts about it could then start engaging it. I don't think it would ever happen in the US. But anyway, Rob, you hear about this. What are the most interesting pieces of all this to you that stand out?
Well, I mean, I can understand, like, for instance, you know, on social media, on something like Instagram, you're posting a picture of yourself and the people that know you are commenting on it. So if somebody doesn't like what you're doing, they're immediately attacking you. And I think that's what you see a lot of on TikTok and a lot of the platforms. It's all a lot of it. Whereas YouTube is different. You know, YouTube, people are watching. There's a lot of informational stuff. There's a lot of educational shows. There's a lot of just entertainment in general. Like, look, I get attacked in comments. Somebody calls me, you know, a fat gatekeeper of Star Trek that's going to die soon.
And listen, I apologize for that many times.
You posted that last night live on my show. But like, I'm old enough to take a few barbs. I can take a few hits. And yeah, I could lose some weight, but I'm never going to stop.
14 years old.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop gatekeeping Star Trek. But just kidding. But I think that it's a different kind of a platform. And there's too much stuff on YouTube, like how-to tutorial videos.
Yeah,
but
some really useful stuff.
But like you said, they're making it so. I think kids, in a way, kids should be licensed to use social media. Like at certain levels, like at 10 years old, you take a test, like a cognitive reasoning test. And if you pass it, you get a license at 10 years old to use certain platforms. Just because, you know, I think that what goes on is more of it's an individual, personal kind of how are you as a person? Can you handle what you're stepping into? Are you capable as a human being to do that? So, but in this case, banning, I don't know, but not allowing people to have an account, that's a different thing. But does that mean you can still watch YouTube, but you just can't be on YouTube?
Yeah, there's no, as far as I know, there's no law there saying that if you're Australian, you are not allowed to show a kid under 16 a YouTube video. It's simply a law for the social media platforms that you can't allow them to make an account.
I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because right now any yo-yo can sign up to YouTube, start a channel. I know, because I've done it myself. But I think that forcing people, make it more of a privilege and make it more, just like driving a car. You think about it more when it's special. Like, you can't just get behind the wheel of a car when you're 16. You have to learn to drive. You have to take driver's ed. You have to learn the rules of the road. I mean, I don't think that's ever a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing to, like, learn how to use a firearm. You know, what's wrong with waiting 6 months by taking safety courses and learning how to use things? Because it makes you pay more attention to them. It can only be a good thing, as long as, I mean, I don't know how it's going to work and how they'd prevent that from happening, but, you know, maybe it would make it better. And when people finally do get to YouTube, they see, well, maybe I better make my time here worthwhile. I'm 16 now, and now
I'd be more comfortable with. I think I'd be more comfortable with. Again, and I'm not saying I'm falling on either side of things, because I haven't processed this long enough to really form a true opinion. I'm not trying to skirt it. I'm just saying, I'm just being an intelligent human being by saying I haven't really been able to think through all the consequences of this. I think what might strike me as better, if Australia was saying, instead of throwing at some arbitrary age, 16 years old, if saying that, okay, we're passing a law where social media, and I don't know how you'd enforce this, but social media platforms, you can only allow somebody under 16 to sign up for an account if there is express parental permission.
Sure.
Yeah, so like if the parent has a YouTube account and they could, through their verified YouTube account, can validate that their child Sissy is able to sign up at 14.
Yep.
Instead of just putting out a blanket law, maybe just saying, hey, we got to have parental, because listen, we don't have laws that say a 15-year-old can't watch HBO Max. We say parental discretion advised. We give parents tools to block it if the parents want to. So I don't know, maybe putting it into parents' hands.
That's a really good idea. Or
Yeah.
make it a step deal. Like, you have you can't become a full creator until you're 16, but you can have certain privileges as you get older and earn them.
Again, like, we're not the experts on preteen psychology here, okay? I just think this is a very interesting thing that is going to have some impact on our channel too as well.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a really interesting thing worth discussing. Whatever you guys think about this, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. By the way, one of our channel members, Spencer Smothers, who's been a member for 40 months, has just put up. Are you able to bring this comment up, Jonathan?
What is it?
It's the highlighted comment from Spencer Smothers, who wrote, "The UK Safety Act just went into effect requiring online sites to prevent children from accessing harmful content. The criticism is the personal information that you have to provide." Okay, that's interesting too. So maybe that's coming into effect in Australia as well. And again, whatever you guys think, let us know in the comments section below. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.